Sports Talk Live for the culture. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
What's up?
How's it going on the beautiful Saturday out here?
Beautiful Saturday.
Absolutely.
We got some things to talk about here. The NFL, to be specific. How you doing, Duke?
Oh man, it's football season, man. It's like 85 outside.
It's still crazy. Doug, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm great.
Back on the scene. Jonathan, how you doing?
Yo, I'm back.
Good.
I'm here.
A lot of things jumping off in the NFL, the National Football League, as we move on to week number 3. A lot of things have happened in the first 2 weeks. But let's start with which I think is the end of the Antonio Brown drama and saga. Mr. Brown was released from the New England Patriots this weekend. They've moved on from Antonio Brown. A lot of other things seem to have come up and come out of the woodwork and jump off, and he didn't stay quiet. He didn't.
He didn't?
He didn't roll back and just say, "Hey, I'm going to take this money and take this opportunity and just move forward with it and let my lawyers handle the situation." If you can look back at the timeline of everything that has transpired with Mr. Brown moving forward, all the things that he has gotten into and gotten involved with, and even the New England Patriots said, "Hey," I think it was a text sent out threatening the girl or something that they've talked about, and that's what the New England Patriots said. Look, it's not going to keep quiet. It's still drama. So in the past, there's been speculation that this guy had some master plan, that he was trying to move away, but to me, it just looks like he's a classic guy that just doesn't know when enough's enough.
What was he moving away from? That's all I want to know.
I don't know. He moved away from $30 million guaranteed to about $158,000. That's
what it looked like.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like at the end of the day. You guys' thoughts on Antonio Brown?
So I don't know. I don't think he had a master plan. I think once all the drama started, I think somehow word got to his agent that the Patriots might be interested if he was to somehow be a free agent.
Yeah.
And then he went about trying to make that happen. But as far as a master plan, I can't say it was a master plan when you had $30 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
And even when you made that happen, you still went from 30 to 9.
Yep.
Right? So now if you get hurt, which is with all the players, that's their biggest thing. If I get hurt, I get nothing. If you get hurt, you playing for the Patriots, yeah, okay, you got a great shot to win the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you forfeit $30 million to go make 9 for a chance to win the Super Bowl, possibly.
Yeah.
And then you still got to be an integral part if you want to get another contract after this season, right? To to make that the rest of that $30 million back. So I just think, man, this guy thought. And listening to some of the stories or whatever that's been coming out about the things that he's done, I just really think that this guy thought that he was AB, the best receiver in the game, and as long as I'm the best receiver in the game, I'm gonna have a job and be on the football field playing. And I think that's what he thought. And some of the stuff he did was like, not that it was egregious. I don't think anything came out that he like actually physically raped someone, but just some of the stuff that he did is like, what are you thinking about?
Yeah.
Dude, what are you thinking about? You need to, if you look in the mirror, you are not Robert Kraft. Your charges won't just go away.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I just, hopefully he gets the help, or hopefully, this situation will, kind of humble him, and maybe somebody will give him a chance to play if he still wants to play. You know what I mean? He did make a lot of money, so he should be okay.
Yeah.
But, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a nobody's bigger than the team, nobody's bigger than the league kind of person.
Yeah.
So,
and definitely in football, players don't move the needle as far as point spreads and Nielsen ratings. Yeah. People are still tuning in.
Yeah, like we said already before this stuff came out about with the girl and everything. Like Doug said, like Duke said, about the help. You know what I mean? Like, we see that he does need some type of help. You know what I mean? With what he's going on, and he's wearing that I'm AB, like you said earlier, Doug, he's wearing a I'm AB everywhere, not just on the field, not just in practice, at home. You know, he's think he can do whatever he want because he's this guy, and you know, hopefully he gets another shot. Hopefully, you know, he get himself together and he gets another shot. I believe he will. I don't know, you know, what's going to be in his contract. You know, it's going to be maybe.
Well, Nike dropped him. Once Nike drops you, it's,
yeah,
tough.
Yeah. Nike had no choice but to drop him with that. You know, with that coming out.
And once he sent those, see, this is the part where it tells me he did not have a master plan.
Yeah,
he just got lucky that the Patriots were right. He did
when he needed a receiver.
When his lawyer instructed him not to have any contact with any of these women, and he proceeds to send text messages from his phone.
Yeah.
In his name. Yeah. You know, you can go to any corner store now and get a $30 burner phone and do whatever you want to do.
And you get your cousin Jamal to do that for you.
Yeah. And he did it in a group text.
Yeah.
He did it in a group text. So I guess in his mind he said, "Well, I'm gonna text it so she can't record it."
Yeah.
Hey man,
and sent to everybody.
Yeah,
this clown, man.
You know, we let's go back. You know, back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I want to jump into Pittsburgh because that's one of the things that I had pulled up, and I had joked and I had posted on the Facebook page. Does Mike Tomlin deserve the Nobel Peace Prize? Because he's been dealing with this foolishness, and I'm not going to say anything to shade at the Steeler Nation. Since the 70s, they've been good to keep it quiet. I'm not just going to put that out there. A lot of drama goes on. You know, I know they made the movie. I know they made the movie North Dallas 40, but there's a lot of stuff that went on in Pittsburgh too. But you know, Pittsburgh has the ability, I think, because of the city it is, tight knit, and you know, other side of Western Pennsylvania, they're able to keep stuff on because this just didn't start happening. This wild,
and that's what I was going to get into. Let's back up and. You know, you heard a lot. Yeah. But we know what winning does. Winning calms a lot of fires.
Yeah.
Puts a lot of things out. Oh, puts a lot of things out. So let's stay there now. Now look at the Steeler organization with somebody like him. All right, we've won more games than lost. So that fire that was lit by him was constantly getting put out. Like people were, oh no, 10 catches, 3 touchdowns. Okay, cool. We'll forget about that. But it does not change the person that you are. Yeah.
And Ryan Clark said specifically to the strength coach, when you give AD that contract, you're going to create a monster.
Yeah. And now here's a guy that is a stand-up guy and was in a battle with you in practices and things, so he knows who you are. Yeah. And you demonstrated this type of behavior before you had big money.
Yeah.
So, like they always say, a fool and his money will soon part ways.
Quickly.
Yes.
And this is what we've seen, right? For whatever reason, we've seen players in all sports not get along with each other. That's like, okay, so what? But you rich and I'm rich and we win. Like, that's supposed to calm everything down. Like, I don't have to hang out with you. We don't have to party. We don't have to do anything. But when Sunday comes and we trying to win, we just gonna get it right. And I always quote what Magic always said about Kareem. Magic said, listen, me and Kareem, we never hung out. We just like two different people. Yeah. But I knew once we stepped on this basketball court, I'm gonna have to get him the ball if we wanna go. And that's just it. Yeah. And here you are.
And that's on many jobs.
Yeah. And here you are in Pittsburgh. Last time I checked, you getting the ball thrown at you 11 times during the game. Like sometimes it was 20 one game.
Yeah, I seen a thing when they did the John Stallworth and Lynn Swann football life. Because they came to the Steelers from two different paths. Lynn Swann, USC All-American. Right. John Stallworth, HBCA, historically black college university. And they just talk about 11 attempts. You might get 11 attempts in 3 weeks. Yeah. Back in the day,
you see?
11
now
attempts
you
a
happy.
game.
Now that's all receivers want to touch the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
And now that's like overly. That's like, to me it was like, okay, yo, give me the ball. It's like I'm sensing bullying.
So
that's what I'm sensing.
For me, this is, and we go back to this story all the time. Sunni and I were in Pittsburgh, and typically the local team fans,
No.
they start to sour before the rest of the country because they see it on a daily basis and they hear about it on a daily basis.
Right.
So even if it doesn't make it to the national news,
And Pittsburgh's a big city, but a small city.
right?
Right.
So you'll hear things.
Yeah.
And, you know, somebody knows somebody that this happened, and it starts to get around, and they know. And when they talked about, he's a guy that's, if we lose and he gets his numbers, it's okay because I did my part. We lost. If they win and he doesn't get his numbers, it's not okay.
Yeah.
And that's when you know you have a guy that you don't really want on your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
If the team wins and you are upset that you don't get your numbers, that's not a guy you want. And then he further showed the type of guy that he was when and I didn't want to believe it, right? I didn't want to believe it. I'm ribbing my Steeler fans, my guy Musa. Shout out to my man Musa, Steelers Nation, right? So I'm ribbing him, but when he comes out after Juju gets the MVP last year, the team MVP, and he makes a statement of, you know, this guy basically fumbled away the season and y'all give him the MVP. You know what I'm saying? That is like,
that's
like, wait,
everything
what?
that we heard and that was said is now true.
Yeah, so you're supposed to be the guy here. You are a guy that this guy Juju, young dude, looked up to. Since he was in college, reached out to you, and you actually put that out there as if it was a slight on him.
Yeah.
Here's this guy. Look at this guy. He sent me this message when he was in college. You know what I mean? You put that out there like that was a slight against him.
Yeah.
And then you slap all your teammates in the face like they give this guy the MVP. Yeah, they giving him the MVP because you're not the MVP. You're not a team captain.
Right.
You the captain of Team AB.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So
And the cute Mike Tomlinson can't win with him.
And then to take it one step further, right? To take it one step further, when you have a thing and where black coaches aren't getting the same type of opportunities, right?
Yeah.
And now I can't put Tomlin in that per se because he's been there for so long, right? He's the one exception to the rule, right? But they're not getting the type of opportunities that, by and large, right? Overall. So here you are, a black man, young black man, playing for a head coach, young black coach. You should know the plight that he's up against, right? He's on the hot seat because the Steelers aren't used to going this long without being relevant.
Right.
Super Bowl, at least in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, conference finals.
And here you are. You should be trying to do everything you can to help this man succeed. And it's like you could care less about that. Like none of that registers in the world of AB.
It's all about you.
You know what I'm saying? None of the bigger pictures registers in the world of AB. It's just all about you. You know what I'm saying? Big Ben disrespected me, so to hell with everything else.
Yeah.
You know, y'all gave Juju the MVP, so to hell with everything else. Yeah. You know, without me, he wouldn't get open. Without me, he wouldn't do this. Without me, this can. You know what I mean?
I'm beyond right now in terms of, and this has nothing to do with the Steelers. It's like I'm beyond, him with football.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking into deeper issues. Like I'm sensing there's like some anger management happening.
Well, then, like, you
some things happening outside of football to me.
And
you know what I mean?
People are who they are, and when you get millions of dollars, you get to be more of who you are.
Yeah, pretty much.
All it does is enhances you.
It just enhances you.
You know what I
so
mean?
you moving back. Look, he has some he has to be disciplined. You can't make it to the professional ranks without discipline, focus, and ability to compete, and ability, to excel, especially at a professional athletic level.
And I'll even add one more to it, right? So even like with the Kaepernick thing, right? So even, you got people on both sides of that coin, right?
Yeah.
You either with him or you not with him. You know what I'm saying?
He by himself.
But to me, it's a bigger stain on the league, the fact that a guy can act like this.
Yeah.
If you're gonna blackball a guy, wouldn't it be this guy?
Yeah.
And the bad thing is when they look at a Kaepernick as in somebody like this. This is how
that's
the
my
ones that's
point.
against
They got a meme out. We want to play catch. Yeah.
If you're the owners of the league, right? You run the league. It's all about money, and you don't want this type of behavior on the team.
Right, but
you
they
don't
look
want
at
this
him-
type of behavior in the league. Wouldn't you say, "Hey, nobody signed his asshole"? And what would that do for the next guy that wanted to do what he just done? He wouldn't do it.
Right.
But the fact that they saw AB do it and get a job, so in their mind, oh man, as long as he didn't have this sexual assault thing, he'd still be playing.
Long as you remain zero political, you're fine.
Right, so I can cause all the ruckus I want. I could disrupt the team. I could be the main reason why nobody on the team wants to go to work. I could be the guy that once I'm gone, everybody's saying good riddance.
Yeah.
we better off without
I'd rather
future
lose
Hall
without
of Famer.
you.
You know what I'm saying? The best
Right,
receiver in the
right,
league.
right.
We're better off without that guy
Because you're not going to
of
win.
all the nonsense.
Because
he's
you're
doing.
not going to win. And you look at the Patriots receivers and the Patriots players that they had, they bring in people. You're either going to play along the line, you're going to reshape or refocus. And they thought, well, maybe we'll get him here, he'll reshape and refocus. AB was like, nah, I'm AB, baby. I'm not reshaping and refocus.
You know
for
what?
nothing.
And I don't. You know, I don't. Because we know the story now. It's looking like, you know, like we said, he is who he is. But my thing is, okay, these allegations they're what they are. None of them has been proven, right? But what you're not going to do, I'm not going to make it look like that is true.
Yeah.
But
You understand what I'm
that's what I was
saying?
about
I'm
to
not
say.
going to do. I'm not going. That's
Right.
no
Guy
different
just leaves
than a
stuff
guy
alone.
that loves to go to the bar. All right, you know. You don't start a fight in the bar, but somebody starts with you. But every time they start with you, you knock them out.
Yeah.
Right? I'm staying away from the bars.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. I didn't start nothing.
Right.
But it just looks like that is bad. So let me just stay away. And that's what he refused to do.
I agree. And
He snuck another text in.
Yeah, so
you
that
see
was
the
the-
heat.
You
That's-
couldn't let it
gonna
go.
sneak another
He
one in?
couldn't let it go. So that's the thing. When you look all the way back to the Steelers locker room, he got his phone out, and then the Raiders thing. He posted message, and he does all that. Like, dude, he just cannot just leave well enough alone. His own lawyer just said, "Don't contact this person."
Did it anyway.
He does it anyway. So they said had he not done that, he'd probably still be on the Patriots
of course.
because
it was like they knew everything before that. So
Right.
they're
So
going to
now-
start fresh, clean.
Yeah.
you were just giving instructions not to leave it alone. We're not gonna comment. We just gonna play football. Yet here you are. Not only did you not leave it alone, you literally gave the
lead.
you gave the girl
More
a hand
ammo,
grenade.
everything.
You
Yeah,
gave
more
her a hand
ammunition.
grenade that she
Yeah.
pulled the pin and threw to the league, to the DA, to the Patriots, to everybody.
Do you think the Patriots got a heads up that he was going to be moved to the commissioner's exempt?
I do.
Exempt. So
I
that's
do.
why they moved on for him.
I do.
If he's
Well, it was things brewing in the case.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely.
and the fact, like I said, and the fact
the
that he did make that
juxtaposition
last
to the whole
text.
Kaepernick thing,
And-
and people going to start comparing that. There's like, let's get this
Right.
cat out of here.
And Kraft himself already said, had I known about this stuff before he got here, I wouldn't have signed off on it. But
Right,
since he's
right,
here
right.
already, I'm not going to just dump him but now
Because I like to watch too.
right. but now
Pretty much.
when he sends this threat, he sends these threatening text messages on his own phone.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw screenshots of the text messages, but it had his entire name on her phone,
Yeah.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Right. If you saw the text messages, it's like, dude,
Cut this fool loose.
you can't even follow the instructions of your lawyer.
Like, how you going to try to function with anybody?
If you can't follow those simple instructions, what good are you?
Yeah.
How can we trust you to do anything?
And the other thing that's missed in this is it's not only this opportunity, it's not even the forfeiting of $30 million guaranteed, but it's also the ability to generate revenue moving forward. What endorsements are you going to get?
None.
What sideline
None.
job
You talking
gonna
about the
get?
easiest money ever.
Who's going to sign your name to? Just sign your name to something. Just trade your name. Like, don't invest your money like Jerry told Emmett. Just sign your name. Where's all that going to come moving forward?
All
those lines have been disconnected.
Right. And in this Me Too era, he's done.
Yeah.
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, definitely. Nobody's going to ride or die.
He's
with that.
done, especially after them text messages, because before the text messages, you could say, and which
It's
some people
conjecture.
were saying, they just out to get money.
Yeah.
How come they didn't go to the police?
Yeah.
What's this, what's that? They waited, this, that, and the third. But once you send the text messages, what you did was validate everything.
Yeah.
Because you basically saying you better keep your mouth shut, don't say anything.
Yeah.
But don't say anything about what? If
Yeah.
nothing happened.
Yeah.
Come on, man. This
Yeah.
guy, man.
It's Clown City. Let's jump into football. Mika Fitzpatrick went to the Steelers.
Welcome. Welcome, young guy.
Give him a first round pick to
love
grab
it.
him.
Love it.
Is he playing corner or safety, dude?
Safety.
Safety. So they're trying to get their Palomalo back to start trying to rebuild this defense.
Hey,
and
I've been
move
waiting for about 6 years.
in a positive direction.
They need him.
Yeah, they need it. Definitely
They need
moving
anything,
forward.
man.
Yeah, and it's interesting because do the Steelers usually make kind of splash trades like this?
Nah, not at all. We the Steelers usually bet on the draft.
Well, you
And,
figure.
you know that. Let's look at from when like guys like Palomalu were there. What was that like 2012,
Yeah.
2013? So you building on the draft, and you got veteran quarterbacks that are playing like into their 40s. I'm looking at these guys. I'm 30, 5 as a professional quarterback. I'm looking at these guys coming in at 22. They chop meat to me because they haven't seen it. Yeah, you haven't seen. So now you need 3 years under your belt to try to understand the pro game, and you can't keep building through the draft. You got to go through free agency sometime
and grab somebody.
Yeah.
Plus,
So this guy they picked up. I mean, he's proven that he can make some noise back there.
Yeah,
so it's all like if there's no corner or safety probably in this college draft that you would compare him to.
Yeah,
like, you
and
know
definitely
what I'm
if you're trying to
so it's
build
worth
back in.
the pick.
Plus the fact that the Steelers could have put a an empty trash can back there and probably made more plays in the secondary.
Yeah.
Than
Oh my
what they
goodness.
were.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah, they have been. We're going to talk about 0-2 teams and see if anybody has a shot. But here's an interesting thing. Mika wanted to get traded. He said, "Hey, a new thing in the NFL. Look, get me out of here. Look, I want to get out of Miami. You guys aren't about winning. I'm young, but this rebuild don't seem like anybody down here can rebuild it. I'm talking to my agent.
Yeah, the pressure's
on.
on.
It's time to get out. And is that something that's going to be the new standard in NFL? Because that's usually an NBA thing, Jimmy Butler. Now, Jalen Ramsey, who had an argument with Doug Marrone on the sideline, things were intense, he's also demanded a trade out of Jacksonville. So there's teams interested: Philadelphia, the Niners, Pittsburgh. I don't know if Pittsburgh is still, or it's the Saints. In Jalen Ramsey, actually they played Thursday night last night,
Which
2 nights ago.
surprising to me.
Yeah, it's surprising to me if he's on the block, he's going to play. If he's definitely was going to do that. So, what do you guys think? What do you think about Jalen? You think he'll move, and do you think about this new trend in the NFL saying like, "Hey, get me out here, move me"?
Yeah, I like it. Get him out of here.
I think he's gonna move.
I think he's gonna move. I think they're gonna hold on to him a little bit, trying to increase their value for him. Like because right now everybody, even though we're San Fran's giving a first round pick for him, but I mean, I think they're trying to increase the value, like make it like we're not trying to move him now instead of like we have to move him. So I think that's why he didn't go get traded yet. I think they wanted to like die down first and then make it maybe a trade move.
I think they looking at 2 first round picks. I mean, Houston just got 2 first round picks. Oakland got 2 first round picks. So, this guy is arguably the best corner in the league, and they put up some of his like the advanced stats, and he's like, I think it's like 4 yards per attempt when you go his way. Yeah. And he just shut DeAndre Hopkins down. And I mean, you might say bad passing or quarterback pressure, whatever it was, but he's the top corner in the league. He's going to get paid wherever he goes. So
I think this move right here was like solely about the dough, and it started probably before the camp. Because if you look at, he was a top 5 pick, top 40, something like that,
he
right?
was picked right after Zeke.
Right. Look at all the guys before him that got paid. They all got paid. So how we know this is a fraternity, right? I don't know if he talks to these guys every day, but somebody knows that they're about to get paid or they got paid. He's not one of them, and like we said, he's the best corner in the game. I mean, what you want to do? You want to lock up, bump and run. You want to do whatever. He's a tackler. He'll pick it off. He can do everything. He's physical. So, again, he's going into this year. He'll be a free agent, right?
Yes.
This year? Like, how many all pros do you let sit around and let them hit the market?
Right.
So you telling me basically it's like a form of disrespect a little bit because you got guys like Zeke.
Well, I think he has
out.
one more option. He has because he came in with Zeke, so he's a 5 years. So
But
you don't let him. You don't let him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't even let it.
He
get
may
there.
not have it though, because I know they were saying that it was only certain positions.
Oh, okay.
That has that option. They were saying that's one thing about the running backs that sucks on their behalf is that they are one of the positions that the team has that 5th-year option.
Well, how about this though? How about as an owner and as a player and as a GM, I can rip up anything that's right there.
Right.
Yeah.
That can happen. Like the people always talk about those contracts. Okay, you can shred them up and do them again. Like if I'm the owner, you can't tell me that I can't do that. I can do that.
I think your guy Le'Veon Bell actually. So it's always like a landmark situation that happens that changed the landscape of things. And like I said, my thing was with LeBron and the decision. That was the landmark. You know what I mean? That's when players started signing their deals that coincided with the salary cap increases. And they kept signing short deals, which gives them leverage of the team can't just have them locked up for 5-6 years
So it
and
won't
not,
be a steal
not
later
bring in
on,
players.
like how we was
You know what I
talking
mean?
about.
So I can say if I got a 3-year deal with the third year being a player option, after the second year, if I don't like the direction that the franchise is going, I'm gonna tell you about it. And if you don't do nothing about it, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So where if I got a 5 or 6 year deal, like Kevin Garnett back in the day had a 7-year deal, he could say all he want. He couldn't go nowhere.
Right.
So I think when Le'Veon Bell sat out that entire year last year, and everybody made a thing about, oh, look at the money he lost, and he didn't recoup it back when he signed his deal. Okay, that's true. But what else it did was it showed these owners that, hey man, some of these guys may be willing to sit out a year.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So this guy sat out a whole year. So now if you don't sign your franchise tender, you're not under contract. So they can't fine you. There's nothing they can do to you. So if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, do you want to go through, I got this guy Ramsey, you know,
don't want to be here.
we can franchise him next year, but what happens if he doesn't sign his tender? Okay, he doesn't get the money. But what if he says I don't care?
Right.
And he does what Le'Veon Bell did and sit out a year. So that's not helping our team.
Nah.
Now we can move this guy, get a couple of first round picks, maybe a second or third round pick, whatever we get, and continue to build.
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh for Le'Veon Bell, they got nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't get any draft picks that I can think of. They might have got a compensatory
yeah.
pick, but they didn't get any. They didn't get anything near what he was worth
At all.
Had they traded him, right? So because they decided, I'm not letting this guy do what he want to do, I'm not going to trade him. He can just sit out the whole year and lose $14 million. But then they didn't get anything for him.
The sad
he
part
walked
about
away.
all that stuff is like the players. Some of the players, they want to be there. It's just business.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean. So
Oh,
that's
it's
the
business.
tough part. So it kind of makes it hard for you to trade them because they never said get me out of here, trade me. It's just like y'all gotta get this money together, and they can't get it. So now what you do?
Even for the guys like him that demand a trade, just like we just saw Clowney. They wanted to trade him to Miami.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going to sign with Miami.
Nah, right.
So Miami's not going to trade for him.
Yeah.
So basically, Ramsey, he holds the cards.
Oh, he holds all the cards.
If he has enough money, if he saved his money and he's willing to sit on a franchise tag, if he tells them, if y'all put a franchise me, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Now the teams can't take it as an idle threat and say, man, you gonna come get this money. It ain't no way in the world you don't take this money. Just like in the NBA where they said, well, your team that you come from can sign you for more money than any team you go to. And they just figured, man, these greedy motherfuckers, I'm sorry about the language, but these greedy guys aren't going to leave that money on the table.
Right,
We hear that all the time. Stephen A. Smith on TV, oh, there's no way he's going to leave the extra $50 million.
50,
that
40
the Knicks are
million,
giving.
yeah.
But what's been the trend lately?
Yeah.
Them guys been leaving that on the table.
Yeah.
Because they've been signing the short deals and they making that money right back up anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a year or two.
You know, they in this era right now, I think it's about knowing your worth. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And just think about it, right? If you know that you are worth a certain amount of dollars, and I'm talking about these guys like the Zekes and the Le'Veon Bells, like they're not going to be out of football. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you can, and then, like we said, you save the money because there's no way in the world if I know my worth and I know I'm worth, 50, 60 millions guaranteed, and I got 50 in the bank. I'm sitting out.
Yeah, I'm not letting you
I'm not,
exploit me.
because it's not like it's $5 million. It's like I'm sitting, so I'm gonna keep working out, doing what I'm doing, and it's gonna happen.
Because Le'Veon Bell, you can honestly look at, and the Cowboys is my team, right? Sunni, you can back me up on this one. You can honestly look at how the Cowboys did DeMarco Murray
Ooh,
in his contract year. They ran him into the ground.
Always.
Did he? I believe he still probably holds the record for touches
In the season.
in the season that year when they knew after the season we gonna lowball this guy.
straight low.
You know what I'm saying? They knew they were going to lowball him, and he'll either take it or leave it, and he left it, and he got out of there. But he got out of there with a substantial amount of pounding, and he's not going to sit out in the contract year.
Yeah.
So if you get beat up, you get a little nicked up, times where you may sit, my ankle's a little sore.
Groin.
I'm going to sit. but not in the contract year. You're not going to
DeMarco
sit.
was
Can
near
you
that
cuss?
age too, wasn't he? Like he was getting close to 30. He was like 28 or something.
Right,
So
so
they
he
got
kept-
him around that time too.
And they lowballed him. They lowballed. He led the league in rushing.
And he still could play, but it was just that time where you're not going to get this money, so let me ship you off, and then he was done.
And that was the thing that nobody in the Le'Veon Bell standoff, right? Nobody focused on him saying that.
right,
Yeah.
right.
I lead the league in touches.
Yeah.
So if I come in on this 1 year deal and again be up in the top of the league in touches, they gonna run me into the ground because they know I'm out of here after this.
Another 400.
So why would I come in and do that? Why would I sign
Without
up for
nothing
that?
guaranteed, without the money behind.
Why would I sign up for that? Christian McCaffrey. I looked at the stat the other day. Christian McCaffrey has played 100% of the Carolina Panthers offensive snaps this year. Le'Veon Bell is at 95%. So
Show me the money.
But this the running back isn't worth it.
Right.
But these upper echelon guys don't come off the field.
Definitely.
90%.
Right.
Christian McCaffrey,
100%.
Le'Veon Bell, Saquon Barkley. These guys are 90%.
Because they can catch,
of the
they can
offensive
run.
plays.
They're just weapons. It's just not that they're 3 down backs. Definitely. The other big story in the NFL has been injury. 2 big injuries that have hit the scene. You had Drew Brees and Big Ben. Big Ben is out for the season with elbow surgery, and Drew Brees may miss 4 to 6 weeks with thumb surgery. And the Philadelphia Eagles basically canceled practice and went through a walkthrough, basically because of injuries, and they didn't want to get too stressful of a practice with the individuals that they had moving forward. What do you think about Breeze? Because when Breeze is up there in age, his throwing hand injured. They brought in Teddy Bridgewater. I believe Breeze will come back this season, but do you think he can bounce back from this thumb injury? I mean, and be Drew Brees. I mean, because the Saints need him to be Drew Brees.
I think he can be if Teddy can hold the ship down and Teddy can be a little, maybe barely above 500, and they still have a shot into the playoffs, I think Breeze will come back with the right energy that they need him to come back with, and I think he'll be able to do what he needs to do. But if he goes and he's below 500 and they out of the playoffs, I don't think he should come back. I think he should really rehab it all the way because he's going to come back. You know, all of us play football. You're going to come back before you're supposed to really come back.
Yeah.
So
you're going to rush it back.
Yeah, if Teddy can keep him above 500 and he's still in at least the wild card race, I think he'll come back and I think he'll be ready. But if he doesn't, I don't think he should come back this year. I think he should just sit it out. You know.
I agree with you. And I kind of disagree with you. I think if he misses 6 games and they go 2-4, I think when Breeze coming back, like you said, but the energy, if they're 2-4 in the AFC South, nobody's going to run away with that now.
Doesn't look at it.
Right. Nobody's going to run with it. So 9-7 might win that. So if they're like when Breeze come back, if they're sitting at 4 losses, you know, if they're sitting at 4 losses, right? What are they?
They're 1-1 now.
1-1 right now. So if they're sitting at,
So
if they lose 46,
Yeah.
if they lose 46 games while he's out,
3-5.
so they'll be 3-5.
Dallas was 3-5 last year.
Right. If they go 3-5, they sitting pretty in the AFC South, in my opinion, because I don't see Atlanta running away with anything. I don't see Carolina definitely not running away. They just lost Cam, right?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay's not running away with anything. So if they're sitting at 3-5 when Drew Brees comes back, I think he comes back. He energizes the team. Michael Thomas come out because they all gonna know that they only sitting at 3-5 because Breeze is out.
Right.
So when we get Breeze back, we can beat
Everything
anybody
can.
in the league.
They'll run off 4 in
And
a
like
row
you
quick.
said, the energy is just going to be crazy.
Right.
And I do think they'll have a chance now. Like you said, though, if they go 0-6 without Breeze,
Thing's
now,
done.
Now you're talking because now Breeze they have to run the table.
Right. And
They
Breeze
have to
has
run
to
the
throw
table.
that rock.
So I don't see that. But I think if they go like 2-4, I think Breeze comes back, and I still think they win that division. Honestly.
What about Big Ben? Is it the end of the road for Big Ben?
I think that this is the last we're gonna see of him. This is just what I think. I think that Rudolph.
We'll get into
I think
Bridgewater and
he's
Rudolph.
a good quarterback. I think that but you know he has some good qualities. You know, he's a leader, strong arm, tough guy. And I think we're looking at The changing of the guard for not just Pittsburgh. I mean, we look at the Giants. They making a move now.
We're going to talk about that.
Bearing injury, But I think, Ben, this might be it for him. Now, I don't think Pittsburgh is into okay, bye, see you later for him.
Yeah.
But if he somehow pulls out 10 wins, 10-6, 9-7, I think they got something to think about over, this off season about what they want to do. And their arm, man. They say the injury that Ben has is equivalent to an ACL.
Right.
Last
He's
I
going to
checked,
get Tommy John?
I don't think
it's Tommy John,
Yeah.
but I think just the therapy and that whole thing, like you down, like all the way down. And, you're not 24, man, 25.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You're an old quarterback now.
Yeah, and you got Bridgewater and Mason.
Yeah,
and
I
an interesting thing that they'll be starting for the teams. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, I think it's time for Ben to hang it up.
Yeah,
his team is in a rebuild.
Transition.
Yeah, his team is in a rebuild. It would have been nice to have your quarterback to keep you at 500 at best. While we're rebuilding, it would have been good. But who really has you used to winning these type of seasons? You want to go to being 5-5. A 500 record. So I think if I was Ben, I was just it's time. How many more injuries you want to get?
Yeah.
And we already know Ben is always going to get hit, because how long he stays in the pocket. So now you come back from this, and you get hit again, So
yeah, definitely. The one go ahead, Doug.
That's the reason why I think it's over for Ben, because unlike these other guys, Brady, Breeze,
throw people open.
Right, he's not a get the ball out of your hand in 2 seconds guy.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I'm saying? He's got a he's shrugging guys off. He's extending the play. And I don't think at 38 years old you can continue to take those hits and bounce back. And I just don't think you can be that kind of quarterback. And I don't think you just change who you are overnight.
Not at this age anyway.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's the reason why I think it's probably done for him, because I think physically he'll come back.
Yeah.
But I just think at 38,
Big guy, he's a
39
big guy,
years old, continuing to get hit like that,
Yeah.
I just think is finally going to take its toll. And I don't think I don't think he'll ever be that guy to take the snap, read the defense, and know where he's going with the ball before the snap. And
He won't be Big Ben,
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna be. But the interesting thing about with Bridgewater and Rudolph Mason starting this weekend, it's the volume of African American quarterbacks starting in the NFL is almost got to be close to its all-time high.
Yeah. We saw this coming. We saw it coming.
Because you figure in the NFC, you'll have Dak, you'll have Russell. You would have Jameis. If Cam was playing, you would have Cam playing. And the Redskins may transition soon.
Brissett.
The Hopkins.
Right.
And then AFC, you got Brissett. Definitely he's playing. You got Deshaun down in Houston. Mahomes. You got... and you got Bridgewater and Mason. This may be an all-time weekend.
Oh, it's a long time coming though.
Yeah, definitely about...
We saw some black quarterbacks in our time.
Yeah,
They just were ready to throw them, at receiver and running back and stuff.
I think,
and not even mention Lamar Jackson.
right.
Oh.
And this is the first time I think where these guys are not just in there, but they're like in there, and they're like in the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the league. When you talk about right now with the way Lamar Jackson's playing, Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, these guys are like. Even numbers wise, like they're at the top of the league,
Right,
so,
right.
That's
Hey,
nice
we
to
always say all the time is like that position. You just can't grab somebody and just throw them in. It just doesn't happen like that. So guess what you could do? So you can play, right? There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. If you start for an NFL team, now, we have our question marks about some of our quarterbacks, but mostly for the 32 teams, if you're on the center, you can play some type of football.
Yeah.
Because you can't
get there by accident.
you can't pick somebody off the couch and just think that it's not going to work like that. It might work like that for other positions, but you're not going to do that with this QB position.
Yeah, definitely, and excelling. And so it's going to be interesting to see it as the league move forward. Definitely, and how they've involved a lot of with the youth, a lot of the college concepts into the pro game, whatever, the mobility, the read option, things along those lines. How you strive. other quarterback stepped down, not for our injury. Eli Manning.
Man, we'd have been had a talk a long time ago. About 3
We've
years
been
ago.
talking about Eli. We've been talking. I gave him his prop. Well, look. I'm gonna say about Eli. He played in New York. He's got 2 championships and 2 Super Bowl rings and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He's going into the Hall of Fame. And his last name is Manning.
Manning.
His last name
He's
is
a
Manning.
Manning. He'll get in.
And so, but people have been looking at his stats and saying, these are his stats.
Look at them picks.
116. I think one of the things on here, his availability from 2004 Week 11 on, he was been the Giants quarterback.
That's impressive.
Quarterback.
Very.
Only missed was when they benched him that time for
one game.
One game, whatever. He's been there, so he's been in the mix. Every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, Eli was there for him. Moving forward, do you think Eli goes to another team? Do you think he just stays there and mentors? What do you think moving from Eli? And what do you think? He's going into the Hall of Fame. Deserving into the Hall of Fame? Because he's going. It's not like do you think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he'll get in.
I mean, we know he's going in, but do you think if you had a vote, would you put him in?
I would put him in.
Yeah.
When I look at when
You can't tell a story. It's not more than numbers.
Yeah, I look at when they were
Brady for 8
on
rings.
top. When they were on top, like he had it was. He had to win some games. He had to make some throws. He did do that. He did do that. Now
At the biggest moments.
right now, granted, they had a stellar defense and stuff like that. But guess what? Like we said before, you can't put everybody up on the center and think they're just going to do what they do. So he gets in for that.
Yeah,
now those other stats. If I'm a quarterback, I don't want some of them out there. The last 2 I'll take in the yards, but those.
The thing with Eli is like we said, we know he's gonna get in, but it's just like us. Like it's like when you look back on it, somebody be like, yeah, Eli's in. But when you physically watch Eli as a whole, he doesn't really deserve to get in. If you ask me, he just doesn't. His numbers. Like people saying like McNabb is never gonna get in. Like McNabb numbers is crazy. McNabb owned that division before Eli came and the whole time he was there. Even y'all being Cowboy fans, I know y'all can agree on that. Like, and they're saying McNabb is not going to get in. So that's 2 Super Bowls. I don't think that should. Me personally, I don't think that should change the game because it's a lot of quarterbacks that have Super Bowls. Brett Johnson's not going to get in. So it's like I don't think that should really put you in there. I think they need to do it a little different.
I think with Eli, like with your McNabb comparison, I think when you look at it, so the numbers are the numbers, but then when you go beyond the numbers and you actually like have to sit down and politic for a guy to get in, you can actually solve certain questions. This is what I do is in the biggest of games, what did that person do? Did he stand up? Was he the difference?
Yeah, my memory for Eli is not even his throws. I mean, the throw against the Patriots, that's a Hail Mary. The throw to Manningham,
pretty much.
The throw to Manningham on the sideline, that's a great catch too. But my memory of Eli is the NFC Championship game against the 49ers, where he took a beating in the overtime.
Yes.
It was old school 1980s, like the grass in your face mask, pounding, and he was still there. And, the frozen game up in Green Bay when they beat Green Bay on the road to go there. So, I mean, you can tell the story of the NFL with Eli Manning. Right. I think, he's going to get in. His numbers are pedestrian. Right.
So, these last years haven't been as great.
Yeah, yeah.
And what you say on
I think he's 3-4-32 his last, some games like that. Or like
you say on the flip side, like with McNabb in the biggest games. You know what I mean? The biggest games and the biggest he didn't get it done. You know what I mean?
He came out the playoffs the most.
You gotta have you have those moments. Like
it doesn't tell the whole story again.
It definitely doesn't.
Like Randall and Elway's numbers are comparable. If you go back and look at them, and Elway didn't have the greatest numbers, but we knew that the system that Elway played in, like they were like, you're gonna run the ball, you're gonna throw this,
right?
We're gonna keep it close, and then Elway get it out. But Elway had moments where he was the best player on the field.
He was exactly, and that was my next point. Like you can look at these guys and say, okay, Eli played 16 seasons. In any of those 16 seasons,
was he the best quarterback in the league?
Was he considered a top 5 quarterback in the league?
I would say no.
You know, if you go through all of those years. So, I mean, that's just a thing.
I would say no.
So, I can make an argument both ways
debatable,
for
right,
him
it's
getting
debatable.
in and not getting in. But,
Right.
you know, I think, like you said, all things considered, 2 Super Bowls, champ, 2-time
Manning,
Super Bowl
he's
champ,
going- he's
2-time
going.
Super Bowl MVP, Manning, New York. He's going to get in.
Say
He's gonna
Manning
get in.
again.
He's going to get in.
Say Manning again. Say his last name again.
But here's the interesting part. Here's the interesting part that I grew up watching his father play. Okay, and the funny part about it was, actually, in my belief, their father had more athletic ability in both his sons that went in to play football in
Hey,
the
listen,
NFL.
it's not that not that hard.
Yeah, Archie. But the highlights of Archie and where he came in, being to the New Orleans Saints, but the highlights of Archie Manning is running for his life. That's his highlight.
Yes.
That is
With the brown bags.
I mean,
Can't forget the brown bags.
yeah, that's his highlight. But you know, sometimes the opportunity that you get, and I try to not to jump too much on the rings thing or whatever. But as we say, coaches and quarterback have records. Nobody else does. And that's just a part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a part of it. And you look at numbers and and especially from the quarterback position now, because there has to be a line of demarcation where it was real in the secondary and real with the pass rush and real
Very real.
and real consequences when they got to you
Very real consequences.
versus the way the rules are now. Because
They
everybody
had 4 or
talks
5
about
bulls
fast
on that
and-
end, right? They had 4 or 5 D ends.
So you
Giants.
figure I mean you figure Marino and the numbers he put up those numbers when it was what it was.
He's putting up. He was putting up today's numbers in
With-
yesteryear when nobody should have been putting up those numbers.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you look at it, they compare like Breeze, Marino, and everything like that. Look at Breeze's number playing indoors. Not taking anything from Breeze, is great. The rules and everything. Marino was doing that when the defensive end and Reggie and them got to you. They didn't have to worry about not putting.
And the
anything on.
concussion days.
Yeah, and
when
the
you were
concussion
still
days.
playing.
And when you ran a receiver on a slant, they didn't have to worry about where they hit him at.
And he also did it without a big time Hall of Fame type receiver.
Yeah, you just putting out the numbers. He was throwing. He had the arm and the release and everything. So it'll be interesting. Daniel Jones starts now. The Daniel Jones
Good move.
Saquon era has started.
Good move.
If you got a young quarterback, you got to have beasts running to lean them in, to wean them into the league, and it's time to start now. You can't wait till Saquon
Nah, not at all.
You can't wait till Saquon got 900 touches on him,
Right.
Yeah,
and then try to groom a young quarterback. Like so, it just makes sense. The times now.
And he has a blanket in his tight end. That's another. That's
Oh, yeah,
another,
without a doubt.
best friend of
And
a
he
young
had,
quarterback.
and he had. It was preseason, but he had the best, numbers in preseason for a quarterback. So it's time to move on. It was right.
He didn't look. He didn't look bad. It's
Yeah.
it's a good move.
It's a good move.
We got some shout outs.
Oh, shout him out! Shout him out!
You got Miss Wanda Brown. How are you?
How you, Miss Brown?
doing, Miss
Cousin
Brown?
Sylvia.
Hi.
Dave, what's up, brother?
What's up, Dave?
Mr. Will
Dave?
Horton down in New Orleans.
Oh, definitely.
Julia Gifford. Greg Harris. Keith Noco, what's happening? Miss Janine. Cousin Rocky.
How you doing, cuz?
Tommy Johnson. Jason Reeves down there in ATL. And Miss Katrina Squire. How are you? Thanks for joining, ladies and gents.
Yes, and one of the persons, Daniel Martin Johnson, he brought up a good point. He said if Eli had remained a Charger, would he have 2 Super Bowls under his belt? Probably no. But that's the other thing. He had the Manning and the cachet to force that trade to New York.
Right.
And New York went and got him to play in the big city. He had, the backing, the Manning family, things along those lines where they can go in and make a move and say, look, the owner of the Chargers and that general manager, we just don't want to have anything to do with you because, look, you guys aren't a winning organization. If anything, where you want to go, we'll go to New York City and be a part of the Mara family and be with the Giants. He also did have that cachet to pull that off, and moving forward, it worked out well for him.
Eli be all right. He's gonna leave and go head south. I know that those taxes up in New York are real.
Yeah, so definitely. Other thing, even Tom Brady commented last night. It's been flag happy. National
Oh, man.
flags are flying league.
He commented.
Yeah, Brady commented. Brady, I said, let him play.
He wasn't commenting on the other side. That's for sure.
Brady said, "I'm turning this off."
Yeah, he said, I'm turning off. There's too many flags. And I've been noticing that. What do you guys think? It's a lot of offensive holding.
So I saw some numbers. I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah, numbers guy.
And they said that the flags are up maybe 7 per game.
Oh, wow.
Off of over the last 3 years. Pretty much the last 3 years they were like even.
Yeah.
And then it's up like 7% or something like that per game.
Wow.
Or 7 flags per game, whatever that percent of was up to.
Is the people aren't ready? The judge are being over officious?
Well, that's
an over officious jerk, as my man from Buffalo would say.
I think it's a little bit of both. Like me watching, like I think my first game, San Fran's first game, might have been one of the most flag games. And me watching, I seen a lot of flags that we actually did. You know, touchdowns got called back because people lining up wrong on the offensive line, but and almost cost us the game. But I seen a lot of flags that actually shouldn't have been called. I didn't feel, you know, but we feel a lot of flags should be called as viewers. Like, you know, we don't think that a holding on the other side of the football field should be called a corner holding on the other side of the football field and the runners going to the other way. We don't feel that should be called, you know, but that's just us, you know. So
I mean, the letter of the law.
I think they will get it right. I think
it's a double-edged sword though, because if you're the coach or if you're the defensive guy playing and you're hollering, "Hey man, he's holding me every play." Yeah. And how they throw the flag every play, you can't turn around and say, "Yo, you throwing too many flags."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I don't like the fact where it's a touchdown call or it's a play, and it has absolutely nothing to do. It's on the other side of the field where you threw the flag, but you pull that, you bring that back. You know, it should be something. I agree that you should be penalized, but you can't.
The quarterback
take a
gets outside the pocket and left tackle held.
Right.
And he doesn't get outside the pocket to throw the ball 35 yards downfield.
Right.
Because the left tackle doesn't grab that guy's inside shoulder.
Absolutely. You can't, you know, you got a guy that on every one side of the line, everything went perfect, but you got a receiver or a defender that held, and they both know, receivers and corners know that this play, if it's not coming to you, they're going to chill anyway. But you grab my jersey and you got a flag, and now our 6 got to come back. Like, that's the stuff I think that should be removed. Now, should you get penalized? Probably so, but to take 6 off the board, that's a little bit, a little bit too much for me. Yeah. It's changing the games. It's giving the refs all types of power and taking it away from the coaches, the players, and everybody. Just those calls.
So if you're a referee and the last few years, all you heard is the refs stink. They stink. How could they not call this? How could they not call that? How could they miss this? How could they blow that?
Hold on, let's talk again. Getting called missed call. Big missed call in the Saints-Rams game.
Yes. So I don't know if it was necessarily a missed call versus a misapplication of the rules or how they're taught.
They've been taught, because
let it play out.
That's been the sounding board and the cry for the last 3 years. Let it play out. That's
because
all
it's
we
going to be reviewed anyway. All turnovers are reviewed.
So let it play out. Let it roll. But they blew it and stopped it. Yeah. And that's the first time I've seen it blown and stopped. So I've seen it played out all the rest of the time.
And they blew it when the defender was 40 yards downfield. Right? So a play like that almost makes you feel like the officials are saying, you know what, Saints, all that crying you did over that missed call.
Right. And that's where I go with it. I'll sit there when I see calls like that, because here's the thing, right? Quite a few people let you know that you made a bad call.
But Duke, I knew it was a fumble. I said that's a fumble from when in live action from
which
Delaware.
Which call are you talking about?
When Goff's arm was going forward.
And
94
Lord.
scooped it up and ran in for the.
I thought you were talking about last year's interference.
He's 3 seconds from a touchdown.
Yeah. And a whistle
and they blow the whistle to stop him as he's running for the touchdown.
And the rule has been
the pass was incomplete.
And they were saying, let it play out. That's what they've been crying. And
because
I've seen it play
anyway.
out. You're going to review it anyway. All turnovers are real. If we say it's a turnover, let it run it back, touchdown. We'll review. His hand was going forward.
So here's the thing that happened in that whole play, right? So not only did they not let it play out because it would be an automatic review because it's a turnover, right? Mm-hmm. So now because they blow it dead, the Saints have to use a challenge in order for them to review it to say, oh yeah, that was a fumble and it's your ball, but you don't get a touchdown. So they actually lose a challenge.
Yeah.
Because you only get 3 if the first two are successful.
Yeah.
Right.
So I actually just lost a challenge when y'all should have let it play out, reviewed it, got it right. Now I would still have my 2 challenges in my pocket that if I get them right, then I got my 3rd.
Yeah.
But because you guys didn't let it play out, not only did I get robbed of a touchdown, I actually got robbed of a challenge.
Well, my thing is with all of it, it's like we in an era now where we got the eye in sky, right? Mm-hmm. It sees everything. So guess what? If if a coach wants to question your call, so review it.
Yeah.
Review it. Why do I have to throw a flag or challenge it? Then look, if I don't have any more, we can see at home that a call was blown, but I can't even throw nothing out.
Yeah,
now.
you only get 3.
Yeah.
You could get 4 bad things happening.
Yeah.
Exactly, but I only get now. I can't. Come on, it's crazy how and sometimes refs know that when they blow calls, coaches let them know.
We know.
Coaches let them know. We see at home. You got the review thing up top where now it's out of your control. You know, you can say, all right, well, we're gonna go review. Call it up there, see if it's right, and it's either you got it right or wrong, and then because at the end of the day, nobody can question anything if you got it right.
Yeah.
Because you score a touchdown and you lose the game, you're gonna be, oh man. Then you can go back and review it and see that they were wrong. How you want to live with that? Like, how you supposed to live with that?
And I think with coaches, some things are understandable. It's going fast.
Yeah.
I can see how you missed that call. But I think when you can't, I think the things that coaches can live with is when everyone knows there's a directive to let that type of play out.
Yeah.
There's no need for anybody to blow a whistle to come in to be the guy to say, nope, it was incomplete. Let's line it back up because if we let this guy run for 4 more seconds, that's going to push us over our time limit for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
It's no need for anybody to blow a whistle there. And I think those are the things where it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
All I know they were saying they caught us again.
Yeah.
So to me, somebody should be reprimanded in that situation as an official because everyone knows this isn't even just new for this year. It's been that way for a few years.
Yeah, that's been the mantra.
Because it's going to be reviewed.
And that's another thing. Do you think that they should hold these refs more accountable?
And
They are. They do hold.
They
the refs
just
accountable.
don't do it. They just don't do it publicly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think
A couple refs been removed from. It's a reason why.
A couple refs
And
been fired, but
right.
they're few and far between.
It's a reason why the same refs do the same big games all the time. You ever hear? It's never a first year guy doing a Super Bowl. They be like, okay, all right, this is a 15-year veteran.
So little known fact. At one point, I was an official for football. PIAA, little kids.
I knew it.
$50
I knew you wore stripes.
And I did one game, one Saturday, one little kid game, and then I hung it up. I got heckled, and I didn't know the guy was talking to me, and then I realized he was talking to me. And now I'm ready to fight. And I'm like, you know what? Nah, this ain't for me. But the one thing they taught us when we went to the clinics and everything, the one thing they taught us, which frustrates me to no end, is call what you see.
Yeah.
Right.
If you don't see it, don't
can't
call
call
it.
it, yeah.
Right. So to me, when I see like flopping in the NBA, that should never be. It should never have been any flopping because if I didn't see why this guy fell, I'm not calling it.
Yeah.
The fact that he fell, if I didn't see it, and obviously if it's when they go back and show the replay, if it's a flop, you didn't see it before you called it because you wouldn't have called it.
Right.
So if the officials just stuck to that, call what you
sometimes
see.
money lines are involved, but go ahead.
Yeah, so right. Call what you see. Dude,
at the very end.
You played basketball, right? At a very pretty high level, right?
Yeah.
How many times did the coaches tell you or guys say, hey, if you swipe down like this, the ref is going to call that because he thinks that.
Oh, yeah.
But if he didn't see me actually make contact, why is he calling that?
Right.
Why can't I swipe down and try to get the ball? If I don't make contact, it shouldn't be a call.
It's funny, too, because it's funny that you say that while we're speaking about reffing, because this was the thing that I learned on my own as far as refs. And I think it helped over time because you can have a relationship with refs, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I used to tell the refs, you speaking about that play, which is crazy because everybody swipes at the ball. You know, you think that you got away with it for a certain amount of years. You swipe, the ball comes loose, whatever. You got good hands, all that. So I used to tell the refs all the time, refs, no, right? That was not a foul because when I smacked the ball went down.
Right.
If I smacked his arm, the ball's going up.
Absolutely.
So the ball went straight down on the ground. So it was one particular ref that I think that I told him that, because he didn't know. Because when you hear a slap, you don't know if it's the arm, hand, sometime or nothing.
Right.
But the fact that the ball goes down, it lets you know that you got the ball clean. And if it goes up, you can't even argue. And players know that. Players know when the ball goes up, you took his whole arm.
And you, like I said, you wouldn't have these guys flailing,
Right.
falling,
Yeah.
you know, because they not gonna get that call
At all.
So
At all.
like the best thing I see in a game is when a guy is trying to get a call and he flails or falls and the ref don't call it, and the guy, whoever he's guarding, gets an easy layup. You know, stand up and play defense.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know
you
what I'm saying? And
That's how it was.
So my father was an official. He ref high school, college basketball, football, softball, female softball, adult, so everything, right? So I might watch a game with him and see a bad call, and I'll be like, "See, that's just why I can't stand you."
We want officials, but they're not going to be perfect. But there's some things that's consistency. You just want consistency.
One more full disclosure. I once, as a high school catcher in the 11th grade, got kicked off the team and put on PIAA probation because I got into an altercation with an umpire.
Oh wow, you were high.
Yeah,
Hey,
You were.
I got suspended from
where's
school.
the
You
yellow
were
flag?
Dante Burford.
Where's the yellow flag?
Yeah, I got suspended from school.
You should have
This
never
was
been
in
a
a
ref.
This was in a baseball game.
Yeah.
You know, I was a catcher, and this was in a
Arguing
baseball
balls
game.
and strikes.
You know. Yeah, exactly.
Quick question. Any of these 0-2 teams got a shot? Turn it around. I mean, we talk about early in the season, but the numbers on if you start 0-2 aren't good for you. Dallas started 0-2 one year, came back and won the Super Bowl, but they didn't have Emmett those first 2 games. But anybody up here?
On first glance, I'm saying no.
It's
No.
because when you look at the team and then you look at what's in their division, you know, it's like,
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that back.
what do you say?
Because I'm gonna say the Jags. Because
Because of that
nobody's
South.
running away with the AFC South. Without Andrew Luck on the Colts, nobody's running away with the AFC
Your
South.
question was what again, soon?
They're 0-2, and these teams can make a playoff run, even though
Oh,
they're 0-2.
playoff run. Ooh.
I'm gonna say, and I'm only saying the Jags because I like what the rookie quarterback brought
Yeah.
to their team. The energy I saw.
We're gonna talk about him next week.
The only thing I'll say is, you know, some things happen to some teams up here. Pittsburgh, something happened to
Yeah,
Pittsburgh,
yeah,
happened to
yeah,
Miami.
yeah.
Well,
Right.
We're not even looking at Miami.
Right.
But some things happen. Now Cam's out. The Jaguars, Foles is out. That can happen to any of the other teams that's in there. Because remember, we only in week 3.
True,
Yeah.
true injuries,
So
right?
just
Yeah,
think if
injuries.
somebody gets hurt again, now it's a totally, just like we said, we like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen
It's
because
0-2.
injuries happen. Yeah.
Everybody talks about that.
So it's
0-2.
early. It's not like somebody sitting there 0-7. You know, things happen, man, in this game. We know. We watch it every week.
Well, the Hall of Fame Eli, he went 0-something, won the Super Bowl probably.
Nah, they showed off. They was like 9-7. All right, let's look at this NFL Week 3 schedule here. Definitely. You guys making big money. Who's locks last week? I had did my lock win?
It's a tough week right here.
This is
We not locking by the points. See, this is my first time, right? So we're not locking by the point spreads, are we?
Oh yeah, we were here to
Oh, we
make
are?
people money. I got my man
Well,
Freddie.
that's where
in
you
the
lose your
building.
money now. When you
But
lock
tell
on
me-
the spreads.
You can say, look, you can tell me they're going to win but not cover. I mean, that's
Oh, okay.
yeah, you know, you can tell, you know, because it's all legal now. So it's not,
Oh, is it?
We don't have to say pretend or for
So-
entertainment purposes only anymore.
I'm going out on the limb and say the Cowboys cover.
Wow,
What's the spread?
21 maybe.
It don't even matter.
That's possible.
Mika's going. I mean, the Dolphins.
Josh Rosen, the rookie's getting a start.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go out on the limb and say, I think the Dolphins have scored all of 10 points in 2 games.
Dak has more yards rushing than the Dolphins team in 2 games.
So I'm gonna go out on the limb and say
I'm not mad at you.
Cowboys
for that one.
cover. That's what I'm
I'm
going
not
with
mad
that.
at you. I'm not mad.
Interesting.
It's some good games up there.
Oh
man.
yeah,
Some good
we
games.
got. I like to look at the Super Bowl rematches. Raiders at the Vikings.
Should be another good one.
The Raiders got took apart by KC.
They're slinging the ball around in that game.
The Vikings had put their $84 million quarterback on a 12 throw count. We're looking for him to throw 12. I didn't say complete 12 to 15. I said throw 12 to 15 passes. And we're looking to cook defenses with the young bull that's come back from the Delvin Cook from the Florida State has come back from the knee injury, and he's been looking spectacular. And their head coach is a defensive guy, and he wants running the ball. And that's going to be interesting. Would that lend you to believe, my people in here, with the Vikings changing their format, that they were a team that you would look to take the under on some games, just because of their philosophy.
Yeah, they're going to kill the clock with their running game. So this is a Kirk Cousins special. This is not a. I don't think the Raiders as a playoff team. So I think the Vikings actually probably roll in this one. I do.
And here's an interesting thing. You look at the Broncos at the Packers. Another rematch. But it's interesting how the schedule works out. So the Packers play the Broncos at home. Then they get Philadelphia on Thursday. Then they get
It's one of those games. Is that what you're saying soon?
Well, they get Philadelphia on Thursday.
You going to look past the Broncos to get Philly? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think they look past them. I just think about how the schedule works for them because they get the Broncos at home, and then they get, and it's a 1:00 start, so it's kind of close, a little early start for them. Then they get Philly on Thursday. Philly's linked up. Then they don't play again to Dallas at Dallas, but Dallas is on the road the Sunday night before that game. So it's short. So essentially, Dallas is coming off a short week in 2 weeks, and they will have played last Thursday and have 10 or 11 days before that game. Just interesting how the schedule works out.
I think we all want to see what the Browns is going to do.
The Rams, the Browns, very interesting.
Should be a good one.
So what do you think? Did the Browns bounce back? The Jets, you couldn't really count that Jets game.
Nah, I think the Rams are going to pull it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we just want to see what the Browns is going to give us.
Right.
Yeah.
And my game of the week is too tough. It's hard to pick, but I'm going with the Texans and Chargers.
That's a toughie.
But it was between them and the Ravens and the Chiefs. They were my 2 game of the weeks. Must tune in games.
Here's an interesting one. Steelers at the 49ers. Steelers 0-2 right now. Mason Rudolph making the start on the road at San Francisco. Duke and Jonathan Niner Nation.
So how about this, man? Because we got a Niners guy and a Steelers guy, I'm just going to jump in and say this. I don't know if you guys remember, a few weeks ago before the season started, I tooted the horn of Kyle Shanahan and what type of offensive mind this guy had. And how he was doing it with, third string QBs and second and third and fourth string running backs.
Yes. You did.
The one thing I know is at this point right now, he is 8-2 with Jimmy Garoppolo in the center.
Okay.
I believe, this is just me,
I'm with you.
they're going to torch the Steelers.
Whoa!
Torch.
They're going to light the
Jonathan,
fire
why
on
you start smiling?
That's what
I only can be happy,
Here's the deal.
They can't keep up
because
offensively.
Shanahan's offensive scheme, I mean, he's got guys going in motion. He's got play action. He's got boot action. He's got stretch runs. And if they're running the ball,
I'm going to tell you this about the Niners right now.
And their defense is playing well.
The Niners are one of the best teams in the league right now.
I agree.
Right now. And I'm going to tell you when I watch them.
And that's without the home run hitter Coleman.
What I watch them do is keep people off balance. Extremely keep them off balance. Listen, when you look up, right, and you see that nobody's covering anybody for 15 yards, that means you're doing something that nobody don't know what you're doing.
And that's a direct result of the play caller.
Exactly. So that's what I see with them. I'm like, wait a second. How these guys keep catching the ball and nobody's around? So you got some stuff happening, right? But on the flip side of that, this is what I can say about Pittsburgh. There's no give up. No. There's no give up. There won't be like a 40-0 game. That's not going to happen.
No, I don't.
Last week's game could have been won, and it should have been won against Seattle. So it gives you but a win from us, I would be not being a football fan if I said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna win." There was too many question marks. And like I said, the Niners are. They're playing great football. They're playing great football.
On the road, 2-0.
On the road. They're playing great football. But I do think.
Could they be a little overconfident?
I do think that this is the game where we got to find something out.
Yeah.
We got to find out who can catch, who's going to run. We got to find out about our quarterback. So you can't go into like hostile territories and figure out that you automatically just going to just win when you got to find stuff out. So this is one of those games.
I do need the Steelers to put Moncrief on the bench. I've seen enough of Moncrief.
Yeah, he is. I think they're going with Johnson.
Yeah, Washington and those guys make plays.
Yeah.
And Moncrief hasn't made a play since he left Indianapolis.
And you a vet.
Yeah. He went to Jacksonville, and he didn't help them a little bit. Now he's in Pittsburgh, and he's not helping them at all.
We'll see. Hey, man, it's the changing of the guard in Steeler Nation. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm looking forward to seeing Mason Rudolph.
Yeah,
his first start.
Definitely.
I like him. I actually like him. I'm ready to go forward with him. We'll just see. I think he needs some reps under his belt and some games, and I like to see. I like what he has.
The Bills versus the Bengals. Bills go 3-0.
I think so.
Are they?
I don't know.
Can we count? Can we count New England with 6 wins already?
Of course. That's before the year even starts. We can do that.
But will these 6 wins? Will they be resting people in the fourth quarter in their division?
Probably.
That Bills game might be tough.
Yeah. Which one? At Buffalo?
At Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
Might be
First half, yeah.
So
college game,
end of the third quarter.
The college games, they hold up a little bit at first.
31-21.
I think just get out of hand in the second half.
I think you guys are selling the Bills a little bit short.
What choice we have?
True. I mean, they haven't done much lately, but I just think I like what I see from up in Orchard Park.
It's a lot of champs.
I don't think I'm selling them short. It's just the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? I think we would say the same thing if the Patriots lined up against any team except for the Chiefs right now since they lost Brown.
True.
So I don't think we selling them short. I think it's just we're not selling the Patriots short.
Right. I mean, I get it.
You know.
I'm not saying they're going to beat the Patriots. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be just a walk. Like,
well, I think it's going to be in the first half. It's going to be a competitive game in the first half, and I think they're going to be up maybe 7, maybe 3. I think the second half,
it's going to be So if the Patriots get out of there by 10, they did what they
right.
I think that might be a victory for the Bills if you think about it.
I think with all the injuries in Philly,
the Lions could be.
I think.
You feel
thinking,
that? Y'all can slide on there.
I'm thinking I like the Lions. So who's the dog there? Is it the Lions or
the Lions be the dog? Yeah.
So I'm thinking
Philly is still favored by 7 at the start of the week.
I like Lions
with
the points.
6.
I don't know about the victory.
I like the Lions in that one.
+6 or outright?
I like the Lions outright.
Like the win, do you?
Wow, that'd be interesting. That's Doug's.
Philly lost a lot of players, man.
They did. I think you know what I think Philly got against teams like the Lions. We're talking about the Lions.
Yeah, it could be mental.
I think that there's gonna be some grit there with Cox and them boys, and I think that's gonna get them through this week.
So Philly lost some. Philly, you got to understand. Philly lost Malik Jackson, who was a big part in the middle of that defensive line. They lost Timmy Jernigan, who was going to win for Jackson.
They did.
You know what I mean? Not to mention, so that everybody's focusing on the Sean Jackson, Jeffries, the Goddard, which is big, no doubt. But defensively,
and tight end.
Defensively, you lose those guys. Fletcher Cox can't play every down.
He can't. Dog, give me a score. Give me a score for that Eagles-Lions game. You got the Lions coming out. I think it's not going to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, I think low scoring because the Lions have a nice defense, man. They have a nice defense too.
Both sides like slinging.
I'm thinking maybe the Eagles. I think they're gonna have to run the ball here to keep Carson Wentz upright. Without any receivers, and their offensive line did not look good last week.
Maybe come back home. Atlanta.
And none of those guys were missing.
So what you going 17-13?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tight, like 20 to 20, 24, 21, something like that.
If the Lions can go into Philly and win,
they might
feel good. They might want to feel good with that, though.
But the history of Stafford and the Lions say that won't happen.
Okay, Doug.
They have weapons. I got
to ask you where you putting your money at.
So the Lions have weapons in Galladay, Marvin Jones, rookie Hawkinson, the running back Kerryon Johnson. They have weapons across the board on offense.
So we shall see. We shall see. The Lions. We'll be back, fellas. Excellent show as usual. Definitely this Friday, Friday Night Lights. Del Val play opens up Penwood at Academy Park. I'll be there Friday. My alma mater got to stop this 2-0 streak by them Penwood Patriots. Definitely.
Okay.
Then Saturday, the 28th, I'm looking. See if we'll be on location. I got to figure that out. Darby Township Little League homecoming.
Okay.
Definitely. But it's a beautiful end of summer weekend, no doubt.
Is it end of summer?
End of summer.
I can't tell.
Yeah, it's about 80 degrees out here. But we definitely gonna jump back in. Sports Talk Live for the culture. And we out. Peace. Talk
Peace,
to next week we gotta talk. Fight Saturday.
Ooh.
Spencer.
Ooh.
And your man Porter.
That's Porter.
Jonathan says Porter all the way. Talking to me.
Know what he's saying soon?
He said Porter TKO.
Nah,
Earl Spence?
yeah, it's gonna be Earl, but it's gonna be a dog fight.
And we'll talk.
We'll holler tomorrow.
Yeah, we handle that. We'll talk about Canelo running up to the fight 175. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
Peace, and we out.
Peace.